Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sparta High School in Sparta, New Jersey. As champion athletes, Apex Wrestling School, the Harrington Company's Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee brings you the live wrestling coverage between the High Point Wildcats and the Sparta Spartans. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everyone out there. It's James Clarke alongside here with John Kovach. Long time no see, John.
Yeah, feel like we've been here before.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about this matchup here. Obviously, High Point's got a new head coach going in with Billy Smith, and they're coming off of a nice start, 2-0 start, and Sparta's 0-1. So just talk a little bit about these two teams. What can we expect from this matchup today?
High Point, new head coach, but a familiar face. He's trying to keep things going the way the Wildcat tradition always has in wrestling. William Smith was a state champ in 2011 at 285 pounds. He was a four-time NCAA qualifier when he wrestled at Rutgers. And now he's back at his alma mater trying to do things the way his mentor did when he was a wrestler here. They're 2-0. Decisive wins in a double duel at Middletown South, 47-18 over the host, 54-8 over Long Branch. We brought you Sparta's opener here on GardenStateHighSchoolWrestling.com on December 12th, and that a heartbreaking loss for the Spartans, who won the next to last match to go up one, only to drop it with a pinfall in the first period at the final contest and lose by 1 point to Pompton Lakes.
And most definitely, sure. And talking with Coach Trappy, they know that they weren't in the right weights. And, today they got a couple of kids that are back in the right spots, and they're looking forward to another competitive match, win or lose. They love getting competition. They want to get the best competition in, and what better way to start off the holiday season than to go up against the High Point Wildcats. So we can definitely expect a really good matchup here today between these two teams, and we'll see what Coach Smith can do. He's already 2-0 on the season, but I think he has a good shot here of getting a win. But Sparta's going to keep it close and competitive with the Horenko brothers they'll be working with, as well as Luke Brown in the upper weights as well, which we'll see later on heading into the match. So before we get into the Lehighs, let's go ahead. Let's talk about our social media. Follow us on social media on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on X, GardenStateHSW, and on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. Be sure to also hit the like button down below on our stream, and hit the subscribe button for all of your wrestling needs. It's your teams, it's your county, and it's your site, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Do you own a local business? Why don't you go ahead and become a sponsor? We still have some sponsorship opportunities available for team pages and live stream coverage. So how do you do that? All you have to do is just look for the Your Logo Here button in the red text on your team's page, or you can email admin at GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We can get back to you in 24 hours, and we can help you make you the star of the show on our live streams. We also like to take the time to thank our sponsors for today, and they are the following: IV Rehab Physical Therapy of North Sparta, our Past Heating and Air Conditioning, Rev It Up Automotive, Anthony Franco's Pizza of Sparta, Airport Diner of Wantage, Frank's Restaurant and Pizzeria of Wantage, Iron Horse Wrestling, and SSD Glass. Again, we are here and then of course the main sponsors for today are the following: the Harrington Companies, Apex Wrestling School, Champion Athletes, Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee. They are your official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Again, we are here at Sparta High School in Sparta, New Jersey, bringing you the matchup here between the High Point Wildcats and the Sparta Spartans with James Clarke and John Kovach on the call. We are here waiting for the Lehighs to begin. We will be starting our matchup at 126 pounds. Some of the wrestlers to look forward to today, I know for High Point, obviously, was a returning state qualifier in Nick Clayton. Was up at 157 the last couple of matches that they've wrestled, and he's poised for a really nice senior season for the High Point Wildcats, and could be one of those state medalists this year too. He'll definitely qualify for states. We can definitely make that for sure, and looking forward to seeing him do some big things down there and possibly place at states as well.
I mean, as a team, it was an interesting season in 2023-24 for the Wildcats because they're barely above 500 in the dual meet season, 10-9, but then they're a North 1 Group 2 finalist. They're second in District 4. I mean, that's a team that at the right time could pile on the points.
And I think this year is one of those years, a lot of those kids are returning back from a year ago, and they should be poised for a really good, solid season. They'll get themselves back in the right spot. Last year they lost to a Jefferson team that was really, really good in the the North 1 Group 2 finals. But they definitely do have a lot of good, rich tradition of wrestling. They like to do things the High Point way, and that's something that Coach Gardner definitely left for Coach Smith heading into his first year as head coach. And I have no doubts that they'll continue the High Point way.
Well, there's something to be said about continuity. You find programs in any and all sports where you're constantly, when there's a coaching change, and Coach Gardner is now with the girls at High Point, instilling the High Point way there. Instead of going out and finding somebody new, bringing somebody from the outside who's going to try to change things and do it his way, they went to their champion. They went to an alum, and that's as seamless a transition as you're going to get in that situation.
100%. There's no other way around it, of course. And, you know, they're definitely going to do what they can to really get themselves on a bounce back season and make it even better. And Sparta, kind of going on Sparta's record, too. Like, they've been good for the past decade. You know, they had another head coach before Coach Strappian. But they were close to losing their program in that early 2010-2011 season. They were close to losing their program. They couldn't get numbers. They weren't feeling the crowds in. But now, you know, fast forward almost 15 years later, you know, Sparta's become relevant again in the sport of wrestling, and it's great to see them build up.
Absolutely, and I think we're about to do the national anthem.
Yep. We'll be starting today's contest here at 126 pounds. Just the next weight up of when we covered Jefferson and Wayne Hills earlier. The final score to that one was 43-30. Jefferson won it on the last two bouts.
I was going to say, decided in the last two bouts, just like the last time we were here in Sparta. First win for the Falcons.
And the flip of the coin already happened, and we will find out who they send out first. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, the Harrington Companies, Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee. Again, we are here at Sparta High School bringing you the action today between the Sparta Spartans and the High Point Wildcats. James Clarke and John Kovach on the call. Again, we are starting here at 126 pounds. And we will find out who they get to send out here momentarily. And High Point shows up first at 126. And this is Colton Joust of High Point. Joust, at least, for High Point. And for Sparta, and the match underway, starting right now. Baruso of Sparta and Colton Joust of Sparta. High Point, excuse me. A lot of Sparta, a lot of High Point. big Sussex County showdown, as I like to call it. Anytime you see a highly contested Sussex County school go at it and wrestle another one. And as we talked about earlier, John and I were talking before we went on air, we definitely like the old school looking singlets, and these two teams have that, and they both just different colors. And Joust gets the takedown, leads it 3-0.
Sparta in their familiar Columbia blue, High Point in the red.
And they both have a white stripe around the waist, and that's something I always enjoy seeing from like these old school looking singlets. Like, you don't need them to be too festive, you don't need them to be too fancy. It's just basic and easy to follow through, and I like those old school singlets. And High Point does a great job with wearing the old school singlets, and gets the escape there is Baruso. It's 3-1. And they're going to go out of bounds. 48 seconds left to go in the first period.
Caution for an early start.
And the thing about High Point as well, too, like, they'll go up against anybody no matter what, and they like to go get these good, like Sparta, they like to get these high competitive matches, too, because that's the only way that's going to help your teams get better, and this is where you see the good results come in from these kids. Like, you could take a look at a kid that's, like, a little over, under 500, but these kids get the best competition in the state of New Jersey, and that's what makes them so much better in the long run.
Right. Are they tournament ready?
I
Are
think
you
so.
making – no, but that's what your goal is for the season.
Exactly.
Is to make your wrestlers tournament ready.
Exactly. And, you know, with some other tournaments coming up, you know, you had your early season holiday tournaments coming up, and then after the holidays you have your other tournaments coming up. The counties are going to be just around the corner as well, too. So you have a lot of different factors that play into it. And once you get into, like, that postseason, because it's a long regular season, it's really what is making you really want to go out there and really make it about yourself at that point. And are you ready to compete with the best ones in the state? And after one period, Colton Joust, he leads this 3-1 over Patrick Baruso Sparta. It's going to be Joust's choice. He's going to go underneath. We get ourselves restart here.
Joust immediately tries to get back up to his feet.
And grabbing that single leg is Joust. And trying to look for the switch is Joust, is him. He gets the reversal, makes it 5-1. Colton Joust, one of the solid wrestlers, one of the returning starters for this High Point team a year ago. Now getting in that tilt there is Joust. He's going to go out of bounds and indicating injury time. It looks like we're going to get some injury time from what I saw from the official. Nope, no injury time. He was circling like this, and that usually indicates injury time, and I think they kind of weigh that off. So kind of look at those, got to look at those little signals right there and just make sure that you know exactly what's going on.
Brusea trying to get back to a base here. And Joust won't let him.
No, that's something about High Point, is that they know exactly how to ride their opponents out. Their two biggest things, and I remember we were talking about it earlier, the two biggest things from High Point wrestling you got to watch out for is cradles and riding legs. So those are like the two biggest things that High Point has always been known to do, and he's going to get 4 back points on that. Going to make it 9-1. I think everybody's still, even on the scoreboard, I think they're still getting in check with, getting used to the new scoring system now, and Baruso gets out of that, makes it 9-2. Under 30 seconds left to go in the second. Joust getting in on that leg, and nicely defended off there is Joust, as Baruso is trying to get out of that.
Brusea trying to force him over now. We're down inside 10 seconds in the second period, and Joust won't let go of the leg. We're kind of stalemated here. And
yeah, absolutely. And Blocking it off was Joust and doing a nice job off of that and not giving up the takedown. Joust leads this. It's 9-2. It's going to be Brusillo's choice. He's going to go bottom to start the third period, and we'll see what he can do in trying to get out of that. He has control of that arm. Now we'll see what he can do with that. Just has to be careful there. He's got to work up to the brace is Brusillo.
Joust trying to get a half here.
Yeah,
coming from the left side.
Yeah, you're definitely looking at that, and you're seeing that there's something that he is looking for and he wants to try to get to in his advantage point. And see if he can split the legs. And trying to split off of that is Joust. He's going to cut Brusillo. Makes this 9-3. Joust needs to be the aggressor here, though, making it into a major decision. And Brusillo needs to make sure that he's also keeping it into a regular decision. As the coaches from the other side are saying, stay in bounds, stay in bounds. They're going to get into the center of the mat. See what he can do out of that. Now he gets in. And now both wrestlers are just feeling each other out. 48 seconds left to go in the third. It's should be 9-3. But they changed it back down to 8-3.
Yeah, I think that was a 3-point near fall and not a 4.
That's what I figured. Okay, yeah, so they did take that point away. And made it only 3 back points. So we'll get ourselves back into the center of the mat. And both wrestlers get set. And Joust getting in on that shot. See what he can try and do with that. As both wrestlers get the stare down. Joust needs to be the aggressor here. He wants to be able to get this into a major decision territory, but Brusillo doing a really good job here. If he can keep this to a regular decision, that's a win for Sparta right there. Even though it's a loss for Brusillo, that would be a win for Sparta on the scoreboard for the team.
Well, 8.7 seconds left in the period, so it's going to be tough to build on this to get to the major level.
Especially with 8 seconds left. If he has to do it, he has to do it now. But not going to have enough time to be able to do that. As Colton Joust of Sparta is going to be your winner. 8-3 final score. It puts High Point on the board. 3-0 over Sparta. We'd also like to take the time to thank our sponsors for today. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy of North Sparta, R-Poust Heating and Air Conditioning, Rev It Up Automotive, Anthony Franco's Pizza of Sparta, Airport Diner of Wantage, Frank's Restaurant and Pizzeria of Wantage, Iron Horse Wrestling, and SSD Glass for providing financial support to allow us to cover this matchup for today. James Clarke and John Kovach here at Sparta High School, bringing you the action between the High Point Wildcats and the Sparta Spartans. We have Brerman from High Point, and for Sparta, it is Broders. Broderson, there it is, yep. Sometimes the scoreboard that we're using here too, it's nice to have too, but sometimes they leave out just one letter for a lot of the last names, but so either way, it's always handy. 30 seconds in, he leads it 3-0 for Sparta. Now he's working in for a tilt. And we'll see if he can get it right there from our vantage point. He does not get it, but he's going to get the 4 swipes and makes it 7-0. And now he has control of that arm bar, and we'll see what he can do from that. And he's got the tight waist in. Nope, 3 back points. It is, so 6-0.
Was 3-3, which we haven't seen a lot of the 3-point near falls awarded. This is the first couple that we've seen.
Yeah, this is definitely the best that we have seen it for sure. I think this is the most that we've seen it so far. We haven't seen it too many times with all the matches that we've covered. But either way, for Broderson, it is 6-0. 40 seconds left to go in the period.
Nice turn through by Berman there.
He's going to get the reversal, leads it. Now he cuts the deficit. It's 6-2. Under 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Now Berman's trying to throw in those legs. He doesn't get it, and now lifting up on the mat return, but it's going to get caught there for locked hands and a reversal, so he gets a free point off of that. So it's 3 points there on top of that. Makes this 9-2. 5 seconds left to go in the period. And after one period, it is a 9-2 lead here for Broderson. It's going to be Broderson's choice. He defers, and Brereman's going to go bottom to start the second period. And that's the other thing about the High Point Wildcats, is that they don't get pinned very often. They may give up maybe Tex, maybe they give up a major every now and then, but they always keep it to 3-point regular decision losses if they're going to lose. And these guys know exactly how to wrestle 6 minutes.
Broderson on top with control.
And he's got that arm thrown in, so he's got to be working for something right there. He can't keep riding parallel. He's got to run it and do something with it. And he can't ride parallel like that. I think the official's looking in. I don't know if he's going to call the stall right away. I think he's telling them to keep working, and they work up to the base is Brereman. And Broderson is just going to cut Brereman. Now it's 9-3. And trying to get into he's trying to get into a gator roll with Brereman, not successful with it. But Broderson is going to get the takedown. And he's going to get some back points on top of it too. Sparta could get 6 right here.
Brereman's just able to turn away from Broderson enough to keep his shoulders off of the mat.
He's got to spin the other way.
Broderson's got to do something with the leg. If he can.
And that's the pin for Broderson. It took a little bit of time, but he was able to get it right there at the edge. If you take a look at the Forum Coffee replay, you can see a little bit. Brereman tried to spin from the other way, but Broderson, if you look at him, he readjusts, got the pin right there, give Sparta 6. They take the lead. It's 6-3. So we're here at 138 pounds. Before we do that, follow us on social media, on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on X, GardenStateHSW, and on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. Be sure to also hit the like button down below on our stream, and also hit the subscribe button for all of your wrestling needs. We are here at 138 pounds now here. Sparta leads it. We have here for Sparta here at 138 pounds. We have trying to get out of bounds there, but they're both wrestlers are still in. We have Ryan Horenko from Sparta and Sean Licata from High Point, and both wrestlers go out of bounds.
Horenko already has a takedown.
Horenko, definitely one of the pound-for-pound wrestlers here for this Sparta Spartans team. He's the younger brother of his other brother, Logan, which we'll be seeing momentarily. So he's one of those guys that you want to make sure that he can get you 6, especially in a high competitive match like this. Now he throws in the head lever on the right side of Licata.
Nice escape by Licata. Peeled that off.
Makes it 3-1. We'll see if Horenko can get in on another takedown. Keeps giving him that leg right there, and Horenko should just counter off of that. Like I said right there, he should just counter off of that and just be able to get the takedown. But Licata doing a good job of defending it, and they go out of bounds. They're going to go to the center of the mat. 44 seconds left to go in the first. We'll see what both wrestlers can do here as we approach to the 30-second mark. going to go out of bounds, and that's going to be, nope, the crowd was shouting out stalling. They wanted a stalling warning for it, but it's not going to get rewarded for that.
I think they're still in the feeling out mode. Still trying to find an opening on the other. Horenko's got the underhooks in now.
Yeah, he definitely does, and that's definitely a good advantage point that you want to be at right now. And 3 seconds left, 2, 1, and at the end of 1, it's 3-1. Horenko leads this. It's going to be, Licata's going to go right away bottom to start the second period. Want to take advantage of the points and see where they can get them right away. So that's exactly what they're going to do. And Horenko is working to the side. He's got the tight waist thrown in. We'll see if he can try and work something out of that. Trying to break down that base is Horenko.
He's trying to torque him over onto his right side.
And we'll see what he can do with that. Breaking down that base of Licata. Nice job.
Licata keeps crawling forward, though, getting back onto hands and knees. Tries to switch there. Can't finish it.
And now Horenko has the arm bar thrown in there. Looked like he was going to try to Turk him back a little bit, but nothing doing there. Now he's trying to control that wrist. And they're going to go, nope. They're going to stop it there for, I'm not sure what they were, because they didn't look like, nobody was out of bounds there from our vantage point, but I think they wanted to just stop it just to get a nice little fresh restart. It must have looked like it was a stalemate, but going to break down the base of Licata is Horenko.
Horenko is not letting go of that tight waist.
No, he's holding on for dear life. Like, he's been really doing good on top, but the biggest problem is really Licata hasn't been turned. And that's been pretty impressive for Licata, you know, wrestling a really solid wrestler in Horenko. And when you don't get turned like that too, and if you can keep this to a regular decision, again, this could be another win for High Point right here.
Licata keeps crawling forward whenever he's in danger of losing the base. And that allows him to keep himself in a safe position.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that. And that just goes to show you that coaching, you know, on that, keeping it to a base is always a good thing. And nice little mat return that Horenko did there. 15 seconds left to go in the second. Now he has the arm trap there, and we'll see what he can do with that in the last 10 seconds of the period. But I don't think he's not going to have enough time to turn him here. But after 2 periods, Horenko still has that 3-1 lead, and it's going to be Horenko's choice. And he chose bottom. He's going to go bottom right away. And that was an instant decision that he realized that I got to get a free point here. I can either get 1 or 2. And as my coach always taught us in the sport of wrestling, give up 1, not 2. 1, not 2. And that's something Licata needs to make sure. If he's feeling that Horenko's getting up too much, he's got to make sure that he just gives up the 1, not 2. And exactly what I was talking about there. Didn't want to give up that reversal, but now Horenko cuts Licata, and it makes it now it's 5-2. And now Horenko has control of those wrists of Licata and loses control of that. And now they're facing each other and they're hand fighting. See what he can really do outside of that. And now getting in on a shot himself is Licata. The High Point fans are saying 3, but nothing's happening there as they go out of bounds. You still hear the 2. You don't really hear them say 3 just yet.
They got none, and I don't think they're happy about it.
No, not too much. I mean, if it was inbounds a little bit more, I mean, I could definitely get it. I mean, Horenko was able to belly right out of it. He was able to get himself right up back to his base where he didn't give up that takedown, and that was a smart move by him being able to do that. So good work there by him. We're 50 seconds left to go in the third, and Licata needs to be the aggressor to take this into overtime. He needs to get a takedown here. Horenko has that leg. If you're looking in, that leg is just facing right forward right there. Licata could have taken that opportunity and could have gotten right in on a shot like that.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't, because he doesn't have the luxury of time here. He's got to act quickly. We're inside 25 seconds now.
And
there he takes it.
Now, he just took it there now. And maybe he could finish this and needs to dip right back down. But Horenko and, the flurry that he's getting in, and nicely defended right there by Horenko. Credit to him for being able to, I don't know how he even got out of it.
The way he swung his hips was so heads up. That's a champion wrestler there who has the wherewithal to swing his hips while he's in the air and keep himself from giving up what would have been a tying three-point takedown.
100%, and that's going to be a Ryan Horenko win for Sparta. But hey, Licata kind of opened my eyes here. He could be one of those High Point wrestlers that can really limit bonus points this year and just beat about anybody. So that's a great win by him, or loss by him, but you know what I mean.
He limits it to a regular decision. It's a 9-3. It's a 9-3 difference in the team side of things, but he minimized the damage.
Of course, and that's great to see. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, Harrington Companies, Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee. Coming up here is Logan Horenko from Sparta, the other brother of the Horenkos, and Michael Tadona from High Point. Another really solid wrestler here for High Point as well, too. Definitely knows to limit bonus points, and they go out of bounds. And they're going to get right into the center of the mat. Logan Horenko, definitely another solid wrestler, like his younger brother that just wrestled earlier. We'll see what he can do, and they go out of bounds and going off on the.
Horenko with the shot now. Doesn't finish the takedown, gets back to his feet.
But getting in that shot there is Horenko. The other Horenko brother, at least. And now they separate from each other. And we'll see what he can do from that is Horenko. But Tadona, again, one of those solid wrestlers for High Point, has done a nice job from a season ago and is poised to do some damage this year and definitely keep High Point, in limiting those bonus points. Now they get back into the center there. 45 seconds left to go in the period. And finishing up near the takedown right there. Yep, he gets a takedown right at the edge of the mat. Makes it 3-0 Horenko. And now he's got Zadona's fixing up on that shoe right there. His shoe fell out right at the edge of the mat right there. So he was able to put that right back on. And we'll get a restart here in the center of the mat. And now both wrestlers stand, and Tadona needs to just get out and go quickly. But Horenko's just been so slick from top. And they're going to go out of bounds. 22 seconds left to go in the first. These High Point kids so far have been, I don't want to say anything too early, but they've been doing a pretty good job of limiting bonus points to two of the top guns here for Sparta.
They've kept the damage to a minimum. You know you're going to have to face the Horenko brothers when you wrestle Sparta. Are you going to give up 12? Well, that's not going to happen at High Point because they've already limited the first one to a 3.
They did, and we'll see what happens here in this period as well. As Logan Horenko has a 3-0 lead here, but Dodona's been doing a good job. Like, definitely been on his feet and definitely not giving up takedowns very easily, except for if that takedown didn't happen there at the edge of the mat, it would be a 0-0 tie. But it's been nicely defensive wrestling from, both these wrestlers, and Horenko just was able to get on top and take advantage and got that takedown. Now trying to spin around is Horenko, and Dodona doing a really well. He just lost control there, and it's going to make this 5-0 because it was in that reversal. They didn't completely separate apart from each other, so he gives them the reversal. Or was it a 1 and 3, which right now it's 5-0 from our scoreboard as of now. They're going to go out of bounds, and the coaches are going to talk about this one. I think they're saying, he said the reversal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it was a 2-point reversal.
Yep, it was
5-0.
I think what Coach Trappy was trying to say, too, he thought that he gave him the escape and thought that he got the 3 on top of it, but we saw the reversal because they didn't completely separate apart, and that was the big difference right there.
It was exactly how you described it. There wasn't a complete separation, so it's not the separation and then a subsequent takedown. It's a reversal of control, which is 2 points.
Exactly. So it stands. It's 5-0. Horenko leads it. And maybe in Dodona's case, maybe that could be a good thing for him.
Might be.
But we'll see what happens. Still a lot of time left here. He's been doing a good job of keeping this so far close and keeping it defensive at least. And Dodona's going to go to the center of the mat. And Horenko's going to cut him. 5-1 now. And Horenko gets in. He got in on that quick shot, tried to throw off guard there on Dodona.
Good job of getting out of that from Dodona, getting the legs clear of the grab.
And we'll see what they can do from that. As Dodona's getting that hand fighting going in, tapping of the head there are both wrestlers. And we'll see what both wrestlers can do moving forward. 10 seconds left to go in the second period, and a stall warning on Dodona. We'll see what both wrestlers can do from that. And after 2 periods, we have a 5-1 lead here for Logan Horenko. And Dodona's going to go bottom.
But again, you have the high point wrestler, in this case Dodona, keeping it in reach with one of the Horenkos. Not giving up thus far, knock wood for High Point, a 6-point match.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what High Point is going over. They were talking about this right before the match today. If you're going to wrestle Horenko, if you're going to lose, you cannot give up bonus points. And Dodona and the last wrestler of Licata, too, were able to do just that and limit them to 3 points. So, and that's something that we could potentially see here unless if Horenko decides to cut him again, which is very well possible that he might.
Cut him and go for the takedown?
Yeah, I think so. And I think when you're talking about Sparta wrestling, too, you realize that, High Point is a team that you want to be able to take advantage of any sort of bonus points that you can. I feel like that's something that they should really think about doing here if I'm Coach Trappy. You know what I mean? I think that's something that they really should be looking into, and maybe they might decide to do it here. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to cut him, make it 5-2, and Horenko's going to get in on another takedown, try to cut him again, and then get the bonus point victory. Because that's something that Sparta really needs, is they want to pick up bonus points as they can. If they can't get a pin, the next thing is to get a major at this point. And getting in on a double leg there is Horenko, but blocking it off there is Dodona.
They haven't awarded the takedown yet.
And now he's Now he's got the takedown, and he's going to get 2 swipes on that.
Yeah, so, it's a 3 and a 2. You're correct, James.
So 10-2 lead here for Horenko. 30 seconds left to go in the period. Tadona needs to get out of this if he wants to keep his High Point team alive.
Can Horenko afford to cut him, or does he have to try to force him over?
He's got to ride him here. At this point in this late stage of the game, you have to ride him out, and I think he can do just that. He's been able to ride him, but it just hasn't been really too successful with turning him. But I think at this point, you got to be able to ride him out, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And that will be a 10-2 win for Logan Horenko, Sparta. A bonus point victory, and it makes it now 13-3 over the High Point Wildcats.
How big will that point loom? Sparta has come close earlier this year.
We'll find out, but while we're doing that, do you own a local business? Well, why don't you become a sponsor? We still have some sponsorship opportunities available for team pages and live stream coverage. So how do you do that? Look for the Your Logo Here button on your team's page, or you can email admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We will make you the star of the show for any stream that we put together. Again, we are here at Sparta High School in Sparta, New Jersey, bringing you the action between the Sparta Spartans and the High Point Wildcats. James Clarke and John Kovach on the call. We have Hublig from High Point, and we have Sean Brown from Sparta. And try and see if he can get something out of it. There was no takedown rewarded from either wrestler. And getting in the shot there is Hublig. And they're saying no takedown yet. He needs to drive him back in, finish up on that takedown.
Quite a split by Brown, and he avoids it. Now he might be going over the back.
Could block it right up, and the High Point fans are saying 3. He gets the takedown. 3-0. Hublig leads this. Jesse Hublig of High Point.
He's trying to get a turn now, but it wouldn't be difficult for Brown to swing his hips out of bounds and get a restart.
Nope, not at all. And I think that's something that he is looking for. And
not if Hublig has anything to say about it.
Definitely, and he has control of those wrists now, and now he's throwing in. He has that head deep inside of the right shoulder blade of Brown.
Just trying to drive him over and get those shoulders exposed.
Also see from ahead is Jake Brown from Pope John. He went to Pope John High School and was a standout wrestler and football player for the Pope John Lions in his day. Was a class of 2018. He's in attendance today as his brother Luke Brown wrestles in the upper weights for the Sparta Spartans.
It's a great time of year because the alums are home from college and get to come back and visit their old schools, visit their old teammates, their relatives in some cases.
Yep, definitely. And, you know, it's great to see, like, the brotherhood and the family tradition of wrestling that continues to be a thing to this day. And it's great to see. They're going to go out of bounds, and that will be the end of the period. And Hublig leads this. It's 3-0. And going bottom is Hublig. He's going to lead this 3-0. He chooses bottom to start. And throwing in the head there in the left shoulder of Hublig is Brown.
Brown spun with him and held control. It's a struggle underneath for wrist control.
Now trying to throw into the back points there is Brown. But nothing doing there for him. Now he tries to put the head there on the mat. There is Brown on Hublig. And trying to get the reversal. He is getting a little high. Hublig can get the reversal here because Brown is getting a little high. And we'll see if he can get it, but now throwing in both legs is Brown. And we'll see if he can break down that base of Hublig. And that doesn't look like it's going to happen because Brown is getting a little bit too high. And Hublig gets the reversal, and it leads at 5-0.
Brown had the legs wrapped around, but he slid up, and I think that was more Hublig's doing than Brown's. And Hublig was able basically to take Brown off.
Yeah, he was getting a little bit sloppy, and when you're not appropriately riding legs, that's stuff that happens. And that did happen right there to him. We got 30 seconds left to go in the second. See what he can do from that. Now he throws in control of the wrist. He has both wrist controls. And a nice little Granby there by Brown, and got the reversal on Heelbig. And that nice, beautiful switch that he was able to do. There was actually a Granby and a reversal, and you don't see that happen very often, but you just did right there.
I thought Heelbig was turning Brown, and Brown was able to switch it and get the 2 and get back in this match.
Yep, and that's a big important thing. And, there's a possibility that, we could definitely be going into the third period. Brown goes in, he goes bottom. And if he can get the escape here or even another reversal, a takedown would win him this match. And that's something that you have to think about as Sparta wrestling. You got to think about that. And Brown, another reversal, 5-4. You got to look over to your coaches. You got to cut them because you got a lot of time, and you can get a takedown here towards the end. And that's something that he really should just get separation from and just try to separate away from Heelbig.
I'll just say it right now. I like reversals more than takedown. I just think it's a more exciting score.
I actually do have to agree with you on that. I think when you get the reversals, it makes things a lot more interesting because anything can happen when you're doing the mat wrestling versus things that happen on your feet.
And a point there for Heelbig.
Minute 21 left to go, and Heelbig just beat the whistle there a little bit, and Brown's getting himself in a little bit of trouble. He's got to try to block off the takedown. They might stop it at some point for a stalemate, but I think they're still improving the position. Heelbig is still coming out, and he's near the takedown. He gets the takedown, extends it now to 9-4. And he's definitely looking for more. You know that he was looking for a near side cradle there, but he's not going to get it. But he's going to ride Brown out. 40 seconds left to go in the third.
Does he cut him here and go for the takedown?
Well, he gave up the escape
no choice
there. He gave up the escape there, so he could potentially try to get one more takedown. He'll have another takedown at least. But Brown has other ideas. Brown needs to cut him. Brown needs to let him go. He needs to let him go here. It's 9-8. He's got to let him go. And that's something that he has to do. He should have done it seconds earlier, and he should have just gotten something out of it. 4 seconds left to go in the third.
I don't know that he has enough time.
If you're going to go, you got to go with something quick. You got to go in for a quick desperation move. If you're going to do something like that, you got to go in for a desperation move. You got to go now. This is your time to go. He's not going to have enough time. If you would have let him go just 2 or 3 seconds earlier, could have been a shot right there. But Heelbig from High Point is going to cut the deficit for Sparta. It's now 13-6. So let's go ahead and thank our sponsors for today, and they are the following: IV Rehab Physical Therapy of North Sparta, our Palace Heating and Air Conditioning, Revit Up Automotive, Anthony Franco's Pizza of Sparta, Airport Diner of Wantage, Frank's Restaurant and Pizzeria of Wantage, Iron Horse Wrestling, and SSD Glass. And today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, the Harrington Companies, Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee. We're here now at 157 pounds after that nice victory right there for Heelbig. It was almost a, kind of a scare right there at the end, but now we have Nick Clayton, one of the wrestlers I talked about earlier from High Point, at 157, and going in for Sparta is Garrett Van Houten. Clayton gets in, quick takedown, 3-0. And Clayton riding from the top, trying to split the legs, and he's going to cut Van Houten. Makes this now 3-1.
Another 3 for Clayton.
See what he can try and do with that. He says he has control of that wrist and trying to see if he can get the tilt there. He's going to get the tilt thrown in. He's going to get some back points coming his way. He's going to get force swipe right there. Makes it 10-1. Trying to check back there is Clayton. And throwing in the half Nelson there is Clayton. And now trying to get the reversal. Got the reversal there is Van Houten. It is 10-3 and they go out of bounds. Nice little reversal there by Van Houten. You probably wouldn't have expected that too much against a quality opponent like Nick Clayton, but always good when you can be able to squeeze by some points.
Especially in tight quarters like that. Really wasn't a lot of room to work with, and he did it almost effortlessly.
Right. I mean, I think he also just kind of countered off of like a mistake that Clayton was, because you could kind of tell a little bit he was getting a little bit sloppy there with his tilts, but he's going to probably, looks like he's going to get that reversal. He gets the reversal. And now he throws in the arm bar. See if he can try and tilt off of that. And not going to have any time to do that in the first period, but after one period, it's 12-3. Nick Clayton leads this. Van Houten defers. Clayton's going to go top. Nope. Well, Coach Smith was indicating top, and then Clayton was saying bottom. So a lot of times what happens there is that the wrestlers, if they choose bottom or they tell the official bottom and the coach says otherwise, sometimes, a lot of times you'll see the confirmation from coaches, but a lot of times they do go with the wrestler's choice.
Mistake there by Van Houten, exposes his back.
And he gets the pin. Take a look at the forearm coffee replay. He was able to grab that arm. He was able to go right in through. Got the stick right there for High Point. Extends it. It is 13-12. Sparta has the 1-point lead. We're here at 165 now. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, the Harrington Companies, Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee. As we got Rupal there for High Point, got the forfeit. Now High Point leads 18-13.
Their first lead since the opening match.
Exactly. So here we're at 175 now. And for Sparta, we have Eklund, and for High Point, it's Dureni, one of the two. But both wrestlers stands, they both face each other. So you can tell, and now the quick work right there is Eklund, but nicely defended there by Dureni, and you could tell that he used that strength right there, because Eklund went in on a quick shot, but Dureni's strength was able to overpower it and got a takedown of his own.
Yeah, I mean, just fought that move off and turned it into his own scoring opportunity. And I just have the sense that he wants to finish this quickly.
100%, and there's definitely a possibility that that could happen. You never know in the sport of wrestling. Things happen in a matter of seconds, in a blink of an eye. You could be up 7-0, and then you get turned to your back and you get pinned. That's just the way that this sport works. You don't know how many times I've seen guys that were up 14-0, 14-1, or almost getting near tech fall territory that turn around and they get pinned. Both wrestlers feel each other out, not willing to give up an inch, and now they're just facing each other and they're grabbing the head. There is Dureni. Now coaches are saying to Gio they want him to level himself because he is getting a little bit, kind of getting out of the stance a little bit, and they want him to get offensive here.
But to do that, he's got to stay low.
And that's the biggest thing that coaches teach in the sport of wrestling is to get in a nice low stance because it makes it harder for you to be able to take him down. And will he get the takedown at the end? Nope, he will not get it. It is Gio's choice. He's going to go bottom to start. And the Sparta coaches over there are telling Eklund that he cannot get in those kind of positions. He's got to be ready to go right away. And now both wrestlers are now getting themselves ready. They get set.
He's gotten himself into some predicaments in that first period.
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely has, and he's definitely kept it to, after that early counter of that takedown, you think that he would have maybe tried to get another shot in there, too, before the end. I mean, he would have gotten it right there if he had a couple of more seconds, but 3-2 right now. Gio Durini leads this. And now they both feel each other out, and now they're both hand fighting. They separate from one another.
Shot by Gio, but he got caught by Eklund. Eklund was able to get an arm there. I thought he was going to be able to turn him, but he wasn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, Eklund has been able to really get out of there pretty quickly. It looks like that, Durini was going to be, the dominant person from top, and, he hasn't really been able to ride him too much or being on top of him too much. You can tell these guys are definitely wrestlers that wrestle on their feet the best, and they spin away from behind, and, ooh, that could have, I don't know. I think they could have, I think, honestly, they really should have just finished in that. If I was Durini and I was in that position of getting that takedown, I would have just continued to fight on that.
But as you said, these look like guys who like to wrestle on their feet.
They do, and you can tell definitely from the two of them, they both have been very defensive. I mean, I think with that little slip up there with Eklund, tried to get in that shot, and then countering it was Durini, the difference right now. And I think when you're going into the third period, if you're Eklund, you got to really think about, he's going to go bottom. I can just cut him and just go right back on my feet because I can take him down. I feel like I can take him down, and as I say that, that's exactly what he does. We're going to make this 5-3, and it's the end of the second period. And, of course, you know as well as I do, John, a lot of people are going to call. We didn't hear the buzzer, but we saw the time, and everybody looks at that clock very carefully in this sport.
Yeah, I was kind of caught off guard there when the buzzer didn't sound.
But we have a 5-3 lead. Eklund leads this over Durini of High Point, and Durini chooses bottom. And Durini's going to try to get a switch there is him.
Eklund shot the half and prevented that from happening, and now he's got both wrists.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like we were talking about before, when you're a coach like that, you don't want to give up those kind of points, and High Point knows that. We gave up that takedown now at the end of that period. Now we got to be the aggressors going into the third. And Durini hasn't come close to being out just yet. Eklund has been doing a good job of grabbing those wrists, keeping control. When you're grabbing those wrists, it gives you more momentum. You take more control, and Durini's going to get out of that 5-4. As we've said earlier, these guys love wrestling on their feet. That's exactly what we're going to be seeing. This match could end up with either someone on top or it could end exactly on their feet. But Durini is down by 1. He needs to be the aggressor. Still a little bit of time left, but he's got to go. And Eklund doing a great job defending off of that one. And both wrestlers feeling each other out. They're both getting hand fighting. They're both wrestling. And Durini is getting in on those early shots to see what he can do. And Durini's strength is just unbelievable. And he gets a takedown. And I think, no backs. Okay. I thought he was going to give him the 2 count there, but a takedown for Durini. It's exactly the way that we figured that it would end. And He's got that crossface thrown in. Eklund needs to get out of this.
Eklund needs the reversal here.
He needs to get the reversal. He's looking in on that switch. But Durani's going to just use his strength, and he's going to hold on and win this match on that last takedown, 7-5. He leads it. It's 21-13, High Point over Sparta.
Now a 2-match lead for High Point.
You take a look right in the instant form coffee replay. You take a look. He's trying to throw him. You know Durani's going to go right in. Boom. He powers him right to his back. He gets the takedown, and he wins the bout. Congratulations to him.
I was about to praise Eklund because he made 2 fantastic sprawls to keep himself from getting taken down. That last time through, if you watch that again, watch Durani's legs. He never stops moving. His feet, it was like a good football tackle. Get in, keep the momentum going, and eventually you're going to tip the situation over.
It was all strength there all the way through. 100% on that, John. That was great. That was great right there in the way that you explained that. But, folks, definitely take a look at that. Definitely the instant replay there later on. Great job right there. And now we're here at 190 pounds. We have Jack Cathcart from High Point, and we have Luke Brown from Sparta. Luke Brown is the younger brother of who we talked about earlier, is Jake Brown's younger brother. Jake Brown, the outstanding wrestler and football player for the Pope John Lions. He graduated from Pope John in 2018 and was a state medalist for them as well in wrestling. And now you can tell both these wrestlers are just feeling each other out, not willing to give up anything. And you can tell both wrestlers, you can tell leaning on the head there is Cathcart. And getting in on the shot, the single leg there is Brown, but nicely sprawled out there by Cathcart. They go out of bounds. 49 seconds left to go in the first. As you can tell, both wrestlers are still feeling each other out. Not a lot of action going on here in this first period so far.
A lot of wrist grabbing.
And arm drags as well, too, as you can kind of tell that wrist right there that Luke Brown has. He's trying to maintain control of that. And getting on the shot there is Brown. And Cathcart comes from behind, gets the takedown. 3-0, 10 seconds left to go in the first. Looks over at the clock, but he realizes the clock on the other side isn't really working. And a nice job there by Cathcart, riding out the first period. Leads this one 3-0. It was a nice job right there with what looked like the way that Luke Brown was moving was awfully quick. And he could have easily just gotten out of there in any other way, but great job by Cathcart for just riding out that first period, not giving up that late escape.
Yeah, just follow him, just stay with him, just stay in contact.
And now both wrestlers stand, and Brown trying to break down the base of Cathcart. And trying to lock up something there. Was trying to lock up a cradle, but he's going to get out of that. Cathcart gets the escape for 0. I think he was looking over to his coaches to get Coach Trappy and his coaching staff advice of what to do next. As both wrestlers are still, wrestling conservatively. There's not really too much action going on so far, but they are still filling each other out. Of course, you got the wrist control and hand fighting. And you'll see a lot of High Point wrestlers, or even Sparta wrestlers for that matter, and you even see it from Kittatinny too. You see a lot of the guys that just put their arm on like the one shoulder right there, and they grab their wrist like this, and they literally just drag him into it because it maintains like that control. Once you grab that wrist, once you grab that hand, you're grabbing control, and that's what I've been seeing a lot from Sparta tonight. Is something that they've been doing with.
Saw a lot of that against Pompton Lakes as well.
I don't know if it's a Sussex County thing or not, but Sparta's one of them. High Point is another that does it, and Kittatinny is most famous for doing stuff like that. And I think that's has been embedded and inherited into Sussex County wrestling. 30 seconds left to go in the second period. And still continuing on the hand fighting there is Cathcart. Now he's got the front headlock thrown in, and trying to finish it there is Cathcart. And trying to finish it, he should be near it. He should get the takedown. He does. He gets the three-point takedown. It's 7-0 right at the end of the second period. We're going into the third with a 7-0 lead for Cathcart. And you got to think about if you're Luke Brown, he's slow to get up a little bit.
That had to take a lot out of him when he launched himself out of bounds, trying to, in vain, to hold off that takedown.
Yeah, I think it did take a lot because when you take a look at that at the end right there too, it was pretty hard when he went down to the mat. So that's going to be that for Cathcart. He gets that takedown there, and Brown is on bottom. That's what he chose, and it's 7-0 Cathcart as he throws in the legs. And now he maintains the arm right there. He was grabbing that arm, was Brown.
Brown needs to get back to a base here. He's in real danger of being turned on his back.
And potentially even giving up more bonus points. And it's going to get stoppage right there for potentially dangerous. Nope, we're going to get some injury time right there. The official indicated some injury time. So while we're doing that, let's talk about our social media. Follow us on social media on Facebook, GardensAHSWrestling.com, on X, GardensAHSW, and on Instagram, GardensAHSWrestling. Like and subscribe on our YouTube page and our stream that's going on right now, and hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to hit the notification bell so that way you can get all notifications, whether if we have our weekly podcast up or if we have an upcoming stream coming up. It's your team, it's your county, and it's your site. It's GardensAHSWrestling.com. Just cleaning up a little bit there. I know Luke Brown has been going through an early season injury. Just came back into the lineup this past weekend, and first dual meet really, so to speak, of the season for him. So, just trying to get himself back into wrestling shape. Tries to get the switch there, and trying to come out from the back door is Brown.
He's kind of caught in the middle of it.
Yes, and it was a little bit. He tried to hip heist over, but it wasn't enough to be able to do anything with it or get any points out of it. It almost got him turned, and that's the last thing that you really need to give up any more bonus points to High Point. You don't want to do that, and under a minute left to go, but Cathcart's getting a little high here. But riding on pretty decently there is Cathcart.
Brown trying to buck him off.
And he gets the reversal. Brown gets the reversal to cut the deficit. It's 7-2. And we'll see what he can do here at the edge of the mat. He's just got to be careful he doesn't give up anything. He can't give up any more points. He can't give up any more points here. He has the Merkle thrown in. I don't know if he's trying to run it. I don't think he is. I think he just wants to face him. He's going to face Cathcart and make it now. It's 8-2. And we'll get to the center of the mat. Brown, at this point, just needs to make sure he does not get taken down here. Is at this point something that he needs to think about. They go out of bounds. 10 seconds to go in the third. We'll get into the center. Doesn't look like too much action's going to go, but Brown should have just separated away from it. And that's something that he's going to do. Not enough time for Cathcart to get that late takedown, but Cathcart wins this one 8-2, but it also limits bonus points as High Point leads it. It's 24-13.
Still within reach for Sparta.
Absolutely.
5 matches left.
Do you own a local business? Become a sponsor. Sponsorship opportunities are available for team pages and live stream coverage. So how do you do that? Look for the Your Logo Here button on your team's page, or you can email admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We'll get back to you in 24 hours, and we can help make you the star of the show of all of our wrestling streams. Now we're here at 215 pounds. We have Donald Weiss of High Point, and we have Liam Hoslock from Sparta. It's getting late here in the match, and you know the High Point's been coming back in certain points. They haven't won since Logan Horenko at 144. So they got to get themselves back into it, and they got to start winning matches now if they want to keep themselves alive.
Time is of the essence, but any win here could, in theory, cut it to, especially a bonus, would cut it to a 1-match difference.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it, so if they pin here, it's 30-13, and you have heavyweight, you still have heavyweight, you have 106, you have 13 and 20. So you essentially, if you pin out, you could still win. If you lose here, let's say if you pin here, but if Sparta pins out with 4 straight pins, you're talking now, they would win by, if my math is correct, they would win by 1 point. So if they get pinned here right now, if Sparta gets pinned here right now, and we get 4 straight pins, they would win the match by a point. If my math is incorrect, I apologize, but that, in essence, that would be the case.
5 straight weight classes won by High Point.
And it wouldn't be the first time that High Point's been through that. I know in the 2014 season, they were down by at least 4 pins against Hanover Park in the Group 2 finals, and Weiss gets the takedown, leads it 3-0. And High Point came all the way back. They got 4 straight pins, and they beat Hanover Park in the Group 2 finals that year in 2014. So it can happen.
Can be done.
It can be done. But if it's going to get done, it's got to get done now. And after 1 period, Donald Weiss leads it. It's 3-0. Weiss is going to go bottom. And trying to ride out and break down the base is Hoslock.
Hoslock trying to keep Weiss down and trying to find a way to turn him.
He's going to cut him. It's 4-0 Weiss. And now having the arm drag there is Weiss. And now breaking down, sprawling out of that is Weiss, and he spins from behind, gets the takedown. Minute left to go in the second period. It's 7-0. Weiss leads this. Now trying to lock up that cradle. Be the first time tonight I've seen a successful cradle from High Point. Could get the stick here, and he does. That's something High Point definitely needed for a momentum shift. Take a look at the Form Coffee replay. Locked up the High Point cradle. Got the leg in there, got the cross face, got the arm trapped in there, put the knee to the side, and he gets the pin. Extends High Point's lead. It's 30-13. High Point over Sparta.
Sparta needs to start winning matches now.
And that's, with getting that pin from Gavin Miracle, or the forfeit win for Gavin Miracle, that clinched it. That very much clinched it. for High Point. And then we're coming up here at 106 pounds. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, the Harrington Companies, Performance Trophies and Medals, and Forum Coffee. James Clarke and John Kovach on the call here at Sparta High School in Sparta, New Jersey, as we bring you the live action match between the Sparta Spartans and the High Point Wildcats. And Takich from High Point gets the takedown, 3-0 over D. Gioa. Locks up on that cradle. Now we got another High Point cradle there going on. Could get the pin right here, and he does. 30 seconds into the first, you get the replay right there. Nicely done. Crossface, grabbing the near side leg. Throws in the cradle, knee to the side, head in the temple. Got the pin.
Efficient. Just an efficient cradle.
It's the most beautiful cradle that we probably will see all season long, especially if you're a High Point Wildcat. You practice those every single day in practice. Now we'll go here to 113 pounds. It's going to be a forfeit win for High Point, 48-13. We'd like to take the time to thank our live stream sponsors for today, and they are the following: Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy of North Sparta, R. Poust Heating and Air Conditioning, Rev It Up Automotive, Anthony Franco's Pizza of Sparta, Airport Diner of Wantage, Frank's Restaurant and Pizzeria of Wantage, Iron Horse Wrestling, and SSD Glass. We are here at 120 pounds between Conklin of Sparta and Padalecki. Oh, no, excuse me. Padalecki from Sparta and Conklin from High Point. And there you go. You get the takedown right there. Conklin gets the 3-point takedown. 3-0. He leads this. Drowen, excuse me, and Giantonio for Sparta. Carter Drowen of High Point leads it 6-1. They go right back into the center of the mat. And Drowen's going to cut him. Make it 6-2. Definitely see a lot of great action going on here. And high efficiency of takedowns. And there you go, a nice double leg takedown there by Drowen. And now he throws in the claw. Now he's going to lock up a near side cradle. At least he was going to, but now he has the claw thrown in. He's got the Turk. Should be near the pin right there.
Just driving through it.
He's going to get the back points, and that's going to end it right there. High Point wins it. Overall, it is 54-13, the final score. 54-13, High Point wins this. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about our social media. Follow us on social media on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on X, GardenStateHSW, and on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. Like and subscribe on our stream from today, either from this one or the previous one, and also hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell for all of your wrestling needs. It's your team, and it's your county, and it's your site, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. Now we're here into the Harrington Company's press box. James Clarke alongside here with John Kovach. John, we talked about this. Sussex County showdown right here. Score's a little bit more lopsided than we thought it was going to be, but at the end, High Point didn't look back, won so many straight. Talk a little bit about it, your final thoughts.
High Point wins the final 10 weight classes. You're seeing a team that has matured last year and that wants to pick up the High Point wrestling tradition led by its coach.
Absolutely, and that definitely showed. There was nothing changes that we saw today from High Point. Everything looks exactly the way that most people, if you're a wrestling fan, knew exactly what High Point Wrestling was all about. And Coach Smith is going to have a bright future with this team. They have a lot of things to be proud of. There's a lot of things that they're going to be discussing about. I'm really excited to see what they can do for the future. But, listen, everybody, we have a lot of things, the next couple of days, we're going to have the holidays off, but coming back to us on Friday, December 27th, we will be at the Kittatinny Lynn Cron Memorial Tournament at Kittatinny High School. On Friday, we'll be streaming both the finals and the third place matches as well too. So that'll be the next thing that you can look forward to here at the GardenStateHSWrestling.com live wrestling broadcast. So from John Kovach, from Jared, the podcasting legend, from Chris, the cameraman from up top, and then Donovan, of course, the other cameraman as well. I am James Clarke saying thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to our doubleheader today. We'll see you all next time. Have a great holiday, everybody. Thank you.